And here's what we have inside the box. It looks like we have multiple chrome sprues. This looks like it has some body parts, maybe some valve covers in there. I don't know if you can see that real well. You get some chrome valve covers and some chrome dress-up parts for the interior. We have another chrome set. This has got a set of, looks like baby moon hubcaps and one of the different custom grille treatments and a couple of bumpers there. And then this is the big chrome piece. We've got some, looks like some chrome steel wheels, some trim rings, another one of the, or actually two I should say, of different grille treatments, and a couple of different, looks like bumpers, along with some lake pipes. Those will be nice. Here's the body. So the body looks really nice for being as old of a kit as this is. We'll have to open it up and take a closer look at it. But in general, it looks pretty nice. Nice engraving, it looks like, from what I can see. The top is chopped. I don't know how well you can tell that in the video, but it's got a nice chopped top. Looks like it's got Frenched headlights, at least according to the drawing. Looks real nice there. Here we've got the hood, one of the hood treatments. It looks like there's two hood treatments. This one has louvers in it. The other one looks like it's just a pancaked hood. We've got some fender skirts and some wide white wall inserts for the tires. That'll be good, because I want to do wide white wall inserts here. Here's our interior pieces and the chassis. It looks like the interior pieces have some really nice engraving on them for being an older kit. So that'll make a real nice black and white tuxedoed interior. We'll open these packs up in a minute and take a closer look at those. Then we've got our engine and frame pieces in here. Again, lots of nice parts in here. And here's our engine. It looks like it is some sort of a V8, which would be really nice. Take a look at our tires. Looks like we've got two different tire treatments. One is just a flat black, black wall I should say, and the others here are a skinnier tire that you will use those wide white wall inserts with. So we'll have to figure out what we're going to do with the tires on here. I don't know if any of those are actually going to work with what I do. More to come on that. And then we have our decal set, which looks to be pretty nice. If it gets covering off. And again, this is from 2007, so these decals have been sitting around now for almost 15 years. I won't be using the flames. Might be using the pinstriping. Not sure on that yet. Looks like you've got some interesting license plates. We'll make our own, of course. And then we've got the decals here for the dashboard. And I guess these are for some of the trim pieces, maybe some of the optional trim pieces along the side of the vehicle. So those look pretty nice for being as old as they are. So we'll see how those work out. So here's a closer look at the body. You can see here you've got a nice body panel line going along the side here. There's a tiny little mold line right here where they normally see those, so we'll have to sand that off before we get this body in primer. The front end, again, looks really nice there. You can kind of see the Frenched in headlights there, the nice big opening for the different grille treatments that we can use. And again, here's that little tiny mold line again that we'll have to get rid of before we put that in primer. So yeah, the body looks really nice. I don't see any huge imperfections in it. I don't know if that's typical for cars of this age. This is a bit of an older kit, but it looks like it's in pretty good shape. Looks like there's a pretty serious mold line along the back trunk area here that's probably going to take a little bit of work to get that cleaned up. I don't know how well that's showing up in the lighting down here, but you can kind of see it just a little bit above those tail light openings. So we'll get that cleaned up. But otherwise, I don't see any sink marks, at least not immediately. Maybe something will show up after we put it in primer. Maybe a little bit of sanding along the ridges of these front fenders might be in order as well. But otherwise, looks pretty good, particularly for a kit for 15 years old. So here's a closer look at that louvered hood. I'm not going to be using this. It's just going to take too much work to open these louvers up, and I just don't think they're going to look right if they're closed. So we're going to put that in the parts bin and just use the plain stock pancaked hood. Maybe we'll try to sand out this this body line here, make it look a little more pancaked in. But I don't know. Maybe we'll just leave it as it is. We'll just kind of decide that on the fly. Here are the custom skirts for the back. Won't be using those. Don't like the way they look. Instead of the custom skirts, I'm just going to be using the stock wheel skirts here that just cover up the opening. You can see on the package here the custom skirts that they have on this treatment. I don't care for that. Again, closer look at the wide whites that'll go on the tires, and just a quick little peek at the inside firewall. Actually, that's got some really nice molding in there, some really nice relief of, I got that upside down, but a little really nice relief of what looks like maybe is the heater core or maybe some electronic pieces. So that's kind of, so we'll move on now and take a closer look at the chassis. Again, just some typical engraving on the bottom of the chassis, nothing fancy. You can see they've do have the custom sort of drop chassis, I guess, on here. Little engraving that'll have to come off before we put that in primer. That's fairly typical of these cars. Looks like it has a built-in 3-cell battery. Maybe that's an old 6-volt battery. I don't know. A little bit of texture on the floor here to simulate carpeting. We'll probably do some black flocking in there just to dress that up a little bit, make that look nice. But all in all, not too bad. Here's our front and our back seats. You can see here on the front seat, hopefully you can see that engraving there. So that's going to be really nice to do that tuxedoed black and white interior. We'll probably do this inside white and the outside parts here black. So that's real nice. The back seat is on the other side, same kind of engraving there. We'll do the same sort of tuxedo treatment on that. And the same goes for the sidewalls here, the door panels. So they've got some really nice, really deep engraving that ought to show up real good under some paints. So, and I'm really excited about the black and white paint job. And here we can see the dash there. You got room for the decals that we looked at earlier. Nice steering wheel there. We'll get pretty on that. And a few other odds and ends: steering column, brake pedal, gas pedal, if you will. We'll start our review of the chassis here. This is a ladder style frame. Of course, back in the day, 1949, these were body on frame vehicles, so you had full frames. Here it looks pretty nice. Here we've got our front and our rear end treatments. Front and rear end treatments here, those are nicely engraved. It looks like fairly simple, but nicely engraved nonetheless. Pretty good quality engraving on this for a kit of this vintage. We've got probably some springs here, some front control arms, fan, engine belt, and so on. And here we've got some additional chassis parts. We've got some radiators here, nice separate radiator top. That's an interesting touch, and some shock absorbers and some other pieces for underneath the car. So here we'll take a look at this first chrome sprue. This is the one that has the chromed steel wheels, the beauty rims. This is, I'm almost certain, the grille treatment that I'm going to use on this particular vehicle, and I'm probably going to use these lake pipes as well. I'm not sure which bumpers I'm going to use yet, whether I'm going to use those ribbed bumpers that look really nice actually, or if I'm going to use these smooth chrome bumpers. I'm probably going to use these smooth chromes. I'm kind of digging these wheels here. They look like they're little baby moons, and I suppose they'll look real nice with the wide white walls. And then the last chrome sprue here is just odds and ends. We've got a couple of chrome valve covers. We've got a really neat trophy. Some chrome, I don't know why they do that, but chrome carburetors, and some other odds and ends that go throughout the body. So again, really nice. The chrome looks pretty good on this. It seems to have held up. Like I say, this has been in the stash probably for 15 years or so. And the chrome looks like it's held up pretty well. And here we have the first of two clear sprues. The clear plastic looks pretty nice. I don't see any scratches or any really bad imperfections in any of these. It looks like the glass inserts from the inside rather than the outside, which is going to be kind of interesting when I go to do the chrome. It looks like there is a little ledge on the outside of this window here and the outside of the front window here that I suspect is going to represent the chrome trim that you can see on the box art here. So that'll be interesting. See how we can do that. Maybe mask that off, spray that with some all-clad. Maybe that'll look nice. That doesn't appear to be the case on the side windows here. Those seem to be flush. And the back windows, the back side windows seem to be flush, which is a little frustrating because you can see they do have the chrome treatment around the sides of them. And last but not least for the unboxing, we'll take a look at these tires. These look like they're just generic black wall tires, nothing fancy. Looks like the same tread that they put on everything back in the day. I guess this was when the tire companies didn't want to license their names out. Here are the wide white tires. Again, they're super skinny. You can see how thin they are, but they've got pretty nice engraving on them. I think those are going to look nice. We may use those. We may use something from the aftermarket that might be a little nicer. We'll have to decide on that as we get into the build. But thanks for following along with me. Hopefully you'll stick with me as I build this one up, and we'll hope to see you soon.